Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 5th day of November 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. Hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders every day trying to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children for the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People helping those that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography and child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that caused these industries to exist. And finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. And millions around the world, especially in Jamaica, that are even worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tonight at Madison Square Garden, there's going to be a basketball game between New York Knicks and the visiting Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves have been banged up early in the year. In fact, a lot of teams are actually banged up earlier in the year, including the Knicks. So the Knicks just getting over the extended absence of Mitchell Robinson, and he'll be back tonight. He should be starting probably. And then you had Deuce out for a few games, personal issues. He's back now. And then Josh Hart's been hurting. So it's not unique to the Knicks. It seems like to be a league-wide thing. Most teams are having some sort of injury history they're dealing with. Tonight for Minnesota, they are also banged up. Devo's banged up a little bit. A couple of players is hamstring. He's listed as questionable. Again, this is Madison Square Garden. So the Timberwolves and any team visited wants to play under the big lights of MSG. So Edwards' hamstring is hurting, but he's questionable, which means he might be able to play. If we have to assume he's going to. So tonight we're going to be seeing the big lineup with Mitch Rob and Cat in the lineup with, of course, Brunson, OG, and McCall making up Wingstop. Excuse me. And so the bench for the Knicks for the last two games really has been dynamic, really being led by Jordan Clarkson's scoring. I'm expecting a Deuce breakout also, and Brown has admitted that he has played a role in the inconsistency of the bench. Again, NBA players, well, all players. I mean, I remember this back when I was in high school. People play better when they know what to expect in terms of the minutes they're going to get. If they know the minutes they're going to get, they can get accustomed to that. They can get in a rhythm with those minutes. But you can't go back and forth 14 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20. You got to be more consistent with the minutes. And Brown has admitted and knows this. He must be consistent with the minutes, which means he must pick the rotation that he wants and stick with that. Yeah, like I said, say what you want about Tom Thibodeau. You knew who was playing. You knew how many minutes they was going to play. Everybody knew, so it wasn't no surprise to anybody. So he has to pick 9.5, which he said he had picked 9.5. So we know he's got Brunson, Kyle Bridges, OG, Cat, and Mitch Rob. He's also got Yabusele, Hart, Shamet, and McBride. He's also got Clarkson. Now, with Mitch Rob playing tonight, I don't know, usually in this shortened season, and I don't know, and this is on Brown. He's got to be more consistent with what he wants. It's going to take a while for the Knicks to just pick up his schemes. It will take longer if he's not consistent about who and when he plays. So the last few times when Mitchell Robinson has started, Yabusele's minutes were cut. When Mitchell Robinson didn't play, Yabusele got more minutes. That seems to be the thing. So with that, unless Mitchell Robinson gets in either injury, God forbid, or foul trouble, Yabusele, according to the pattern that we've seen so far, his minutes would be reduced. I don't know why that is, but that is what it's been in the first 7 games of this season. And so you're going to see Deuce, Shamet, Hart, and Clarkson play a lot. And they'll usually play, when Mitch is out, they'll either play with Cat at the 5 or they'll play with OG at the 5, which works also on a smaller lineup. So that's what we can expect tonight. Now, DiVincenzo I expected him to be a good NBA player coming out of Villanova. When he was in Milwaukee, he played very well. I think he got traded, but he went to Golden State. And then from there, he comes to the Knicks. When he was with the Knicks, as we all have seen, in that last year he was with the Knicks, he was outstanding. Clutch player, tough, like all the Villanova kids on this team, tough, clutch, beautiful jump shot, okay, athletic enough to finish strong. And given the opportunity, which he got with the Knicks, I think he started like 60 games that year with the Knicks. Given the opportunity to start, he really performed very well in New York. He started 63 games under Tom Thibodeau, averaged 29 minutes a game, averaged about 16 points a game. That's about where I expected him to be. Well, the first year in Minnesota, to me, was an adjustment period for Donte. His role to coming off the bench, he wasn't a starter right away. He got a little banged up too, and then I gotta feel he was disappointed coming out of New York and going to Minnesota. Understood what happened, but probably that don't mean he's not disappointed. But this year he seems to be back in the flow that he was in when he was in New York. And again, he's averaging 15 so far. He's shooting from 3-point range 43%. So he is back to being Donte. He is an NBA starter, and he's getting that opportunity now in Minnesota. And I expect him to perform at the level or even better than he was when he was in New York. That being said, he's going to be a problem tonight. He's going to come, two homies, once a Knick, always a Knick. And some guys more than others, like Donte and JuJu, always Knicks. So they're going to come to play today. They're going to come to play. Naz Reid always comes to play. He's from New Jersey, so he's like a New Yorker too. He always comes to play at MSG. And Naz Reid has been the guy that's been supporting the Minnesota bench. He's been terrific, off the Minnesota bench. And he has been really carrying the scoring load off the bench, which he can easily do because Naz Reid is a ball player. He can ball. So carrying the load off the Minnesota bench. And so he is going to be a problem coming off the bench. And this is one of those situations where, generally speaking, when you look at the Knicks bench at their peak, they're going to be one of the best benches in the NBA once they get the flow going. But Naz Reid's been this way. Okay, he's been this way since he came over to Minnesota. So he's a tall dude. I don't know, he's like 6'9", 6'10", but he can shoot the ball from 3. He can rebound the ball. He's a big-time defender. He's been 6th man of the year. So he's going to be tough. He's going to come off the bench tough. The Knicks bench has got to be ready for him and for that bench that they have. I feel like Rudy Gobert is tough. No doubt about it. Multiple defensive player of the year. Always in the conversation. Always leads the league, or not lead the league, but in the top of the league in blocks. Great rim protector. I think we got a good match with Mitch Rob, with him. So I'm not worried about him as much. JuJu always outperforms Cat. So this is going to be an interesting situation. It depends on what Minnesota's strategy is for Brunson. If they try the same strategy that Chicago tried and that last year the teams tried in the playoffs against him, that is focus on him, give him 94-foot aggressive defense, then Cat's going to be the one that's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, and he's going to have opportunities to score. It's going to be him against JuJu. And we're going to also need the ancillary players, your OGs, your Mikal Bridges. We're going to need them to step up as well. But that's going to be the big matchup today, JuJu against Cat. So we'll see. JuJu can't guard Cat, but you know what? When it comes to opposing players that are from Kentucky, all of a sudden JuJu become all NBA defense. So it's all mental with him. So if he got to play against Anthony Ambulance or Bam Adebayo or Cat, JuJu gets up for them games. So here he is coming back to Madison Square Garden, playing against Cat under the MSG lights. JuJu's been averaging 26 and 7 so far, which is about his numbers. He's a little higher scoring than usual now, but he's still all NBA talent. When he was here, he was all NBA. Right now, JuJu is shooting 43% from the three-point line. He's going to be rough tonight, okay? He is going to be rough. So the Knicks got to come prepared. Cat's got to come prepared. Mitch Rob's got to come prepared. All of us got to come prepared. And I don't believe, put it this way, I don't believe that Minnesota, aside from Naz Reid, I don't think their bench can guard ours. So when you're talking about Clarkson, and you're talking about Josh Hart, and you're talking about Deuce McBride, you're talking about Shamet, I think we got the advantage scoring rise, and we got enough defense to put some resistance. But Naz Reid is a tremendous three-point shooter. Look at this now. He is shooting 39% from three. You got to guard him out there. He takes 4 or 5 attempts a game. You got to guard him from the three-point line. He loves to shoot from the corners, especially. But he'll shoot it from anywhere at the arc. But like most good shooters, he's going to nail that corner one if you give it to him, the shortest distance between the three and the basket. So 22 feet. So he's going to kill that if you let him have it. So they're going to have to guard that. And, of course, they're going to have to guard the paint as well. So this is not going to be easy. It's going to be a good test. I mean, we had 2 games, Chicago and Washington, to get right. We did. Now it's going to be say, how right are we? That's what it's going to say. How right are we? 2 homies coming back to MSG. They coming to do their business. They coming to show up and show out. We got to be ready to meet that. We'll see what happens. I'm favoring our squad always. Y'all enjoy the game tonight, 7:30. Enjoy the game. Please be safe out there in this dangerous world in which we live. Remember the brethren in Jamaica. Shalom.